All right. So what we are replacing is the palmrest on this. And the reason we're replacing the palmrest is because it's missing all of the screws that actually hold it in place once we get this bottom panel off. Get all of these screws out of the bottom. And I'm gonna have to look around to see if I have screws to replace some of this stuff with. I need to go wash my hands here because I have glue on my hands now from those prints. Right, and you can see like the bottom of this thing has quite the bow in it already from just the abuse that it was taking from this hinge being completely broken. So give me 1 second, let me wash my hands. I mean, there's mold growing in it, so that's something. All right, I guess let's toss the model number out there. This is an MSI MS14D1. It's a pretty simple little computer, nothing crazy. Let's go ahead, get it apart. So first things first, remove the battery. And I'm already seeing different screws holding this battery in, which is fun. Definitely someone else has been in here before. That wasn't me. Now this battery is a flip style, meaning that it flips up and lifts out. Get that out of the way. Get the SSD out of here.
Hey, thanks for checking out this video. If you like these videos, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. It really, really helps the channel.
Definitely a lot of stuff in here, despite what you just said. All right, Wi-Fi. All right, let's lift this. These are the Wi-Fi cables. We just need to remember which way they are going, which is pretty straightforward. Disconnect this cable, pull that out. Disconnect that cable, pull that out. We got one more right here. Lift out, and then speaker cable. Is there another cable under here? There is not. That's a button. Let's get this cable out of here. This is our video cable. Just going to lift the flip connector up and out. I think that might be it. So this thing is holding on quite firmly for some reason. And make sure that there aren't any other like hidden screws that I'm missing. Not one there. Oh, there it is. It's that one. So in total, holding the motherboard in, there was 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be it. More than likely, that means there's one right there. Get this out of here. It's been a super busy day. Yeah, that's basically what happens. It's a super common thing that I see. So this had water damage. You can see this is a telltale sign that there's been liquid intrusion into a computer. Thankfully, this motherboard has this plastic protector on here, and she didn't have anything get past that. We're gonna make sure we leave that on there, but something we have to be aware of. Things suddenly stop working. All right, the other thing that this did not come with, as you can see, is the trackpad. So we gotta get the trackpad moved over. Of course, it's another one of these super fine screws. Really am hoping hoping this is not what I think it is. Good, it's not. I was worried that these little plastic things were actually holding down the actual keyboard in such a way that I would have to heat it up to get it out, but doesn't look like it. Yeah, there's been a bunch of liquid in here, there's corrosion on stuff. Well, I guess good thing this person is getting a whole new keyboard, huh? Oh, I forgot one. Yeah, unfortunately, the fake virus things are something I see on a very regular basis. And on here we have speaker cable. Man, that's on there. Come on. Crazy strong adhesive. All right. This back in place on this one. Get all 4 screws back in. Next, we need to move over the speakers. Which are actually quite dirty as well. I'm just going to go in the reverse order of what we just did. This goes under this, as we saw, because it was stuck to the touchpad. Under. Now we're ready to toss the motherboard in here, basically. That's fine. Just make sure you go back and lock the back door after you get done. Alright, so that's done. Actually, let me grab. There's one more thing on here I do want to grab. I want to grab this. See if we can reuse this at all. No, the adhesive isn't on there. Oh well, can't do it. Not an option. Alright, next, slide this into place. That up and over. It's gonna go there. It's gonna go there. SSD. Alright, let's start getting this back in place. Start off over here. While we have it out, we're going to reapply some thermal paste to this. We'll clean that off, add some new stuff. Make sure everything is sitting nice and flush. So we have this one right here. It looks like I'm putting screws everywhere where it says H. There. Something's under here. I'm not comfortable with it's the way it's flexing the motherboard. Let's see what's underneath there. The last thing you want to do is put this all together and then just have something underneath it and have it break. It's just the plastic. Oh, you know what? So what looks like happened is they ended up replacing this keyboard. So more than likely they just replaced the keyboard that was in here and redid all of the rivets, and some of the rivets aren't sitting flat. So it's going to sit a little bit proud, but it's not going to affect anything once we get all the screws in there. Just something to be aware of. Yeah, there's a piece of plastic right there. And we'll go right here. Just want to make sure. Yeah. Once we get the fans in there, all the rest of this will be held down. All right. Let's clean that. Sure. We have thermal pads in all the right places. Add some new thermal paste. Doesn't need as much as I just put on there, but we're gonna do it anyways. We're doing it live. Alright, we got our little thermal pads down there. In the correct numbered order that's listed there. 1. Where's 2? This is 4. Oh, that's 2. I'm okay. 3. This. And we got this. Let's start getting these cables plugged in. Do a quick test. That's in. That's in. And like I said, we're gonna have to find some screws for this. Because these hinges are dunzo. That over there. Gently flip this over and in. And that goes down. Over in. I need to realize where this goes. So this here, like when we're looking at this, one of the things that's interesting and why the numbering system doesn't really make sense is because if this had a GPU, we would need to put screws in there, but there are none. So that's from the outside, right? No. So that's where this goes. It's right there. All right, memory. SSD. Now, let's get this screen reattached. We also need to get Wi-Fi, which is all the way over here. A really, really like tightly built computer. A lot of components, really small space. Okay. And this is gonna, we'll work this all the way around. It's gonna come around here, it's gonna go over here. It's gonna go all the way over to here. And we'll get that hooked up in a second. Get this video cable hooked up. Should be there. Now, get, oh, we need to get that out. Let me grab my needle nose pliers. It's not. It's actually pretty common. Like, this is a pretty common thing that I do, so. Palmrest replacements. When manufacturers stopped including removable keyboards, is something you have to deal with. So these screws that are holding this whole thing together are actually like tiny. Yep. So the ones that are clear on this one that are not being used are the one that have an X. So for now, we got to find additional screws to hold this down. Actually, these ones here would be more important. That one, that one. Let me grab my screws. I can't figure it out. Let's grab these guys because I think using the wrong color are going to be what I need. Who cares if they're not black? I mean, that used to be how it was. There used to be, like, when you take a computer apart, there was, like, HP specifically had 30 and 40 screws, like, just holding the bottom of the case on. This is me blindly guessing and knowing generally what the shape of this screw should be. That one. There we go. Much better. So, Wi-Fi cables. Pull this off of here again. Yeah, there used to be screws underneath the keyboard. It was super easy. And then manufacturers are like, no, you know what? We don't want you fixing your own stuff. We'll do it for you. Just bring it in. We promise it'll be okay. Well, that's the wrong screw entirely. That's fun. It's always worrisome about when people bring in their computers and they've been apart. Of course, the battery on this is probably dead. Or, you know, not plugged in at all, because that could be another reason it's not working. Oh, I hate these connectors. Because down. Of course. The other thing we have to worry about is these guys were actually scattered about on different parts of the motherboard so that things wouldn't get compressed unnecessarily. Now we have to go like that. There we go. Come on. This is one of the worst connector designs ever. It needs to go down. Hey, this connector. Like, what the heck? It wants to go down like that. But then these little hooks need to go like that. I got one side in there. I'm just gonna get there we go. Terrible design for a connector. Like, I get you want it to stay in. It's wild. Okay. Let's try this again. Of course, I'm gonna have to go grab like my universal power supply. Cable is on there now, isn't it? Alright, give me a second. Nope, it's smaller. It's where I hope I have one. Oh, this isn't looking good. It's always fun not having a way of testing stuff. Let's see if this gives it power. That one definitely isn't. USB-C port on this thing is actually shot. Alright, I think we're good. We got Wi-Fi. Battery on this thing is exceptionally low, so it needs to be charged, but same deal. We're going to attempt to find screws that'll work for this thing. So longer screws. Not there. I'm trying to replace all of the screws on the bottom of this laptop so we have a full complement holding it in. Yep, this bottom has seen much better days. For darn sure. Angle from them opening and closing it with so many, like with the actual screw mounting points missing. Alright, so let me try and find some more properly length screws. Problem I have over here is that the metal that holds this thing closed is just gone. It's been ripped apart. I can just do that and make it look like it's closed, but in actuality it is not. Oh, that guy. That one, not long enough, is it? No, just not just long enough. There we go. Got a whole new keyboard, a whole new palm rest. Let's get this sticker off of here. And let's get this screen cleaned because you can see it's in pretty bad nick. All right, there we go. That's how we do that. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked that video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And I stream daily on Twitch at twitch.tv/SpecVengeance. And yeah, if you want to learn more about my services, check out Bradenton PC Repair.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.